Zhang against Joyce, the rematch, live and exclusive from 7 on Saturday, right here on the talkSPORT network.
He's practically a cyclops now, Joyce.
Howard Foster and the doctor decided you can't fight one-eyed in this sport.
Yeah, it's an eye for an eye again. Now I've got my eye done.
Time goes by, an eye for an eye.
Had the eye not closed up, I think Joe would have gone on to win that fight, but he lost.
Joyce, he is in trouble here.
Joyce, again in trouble here. He can't see those shots coming. That eye, Andy, completely closed. That left hand, I couldn't get away from it. He's strong and powerful and experienced. It's Chinese power.
The reaction of the Chinese fighter showed you that he knew he had got Joyce in trouble, and he absolutely has here.
Big shot from Zhang. Joyce in trouble.
He waves the fight over, and the Zhang camp go absolutely wild.
Is there a rematch with Joyce or not?
I do whatever he wants to do.
So if he wanted another fight, you'd have a rematch?
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. That's why they're doing it again. So will it be a repeat or revenge for the juggernaut as he takes on this man Zhang, known as Big Bang? Again, Adam Catterall is in studio. What's your thought on this, Adam? Is it over for Joyce if he loses?
I think it's a very long road back, given that he's, 37 years of age now. The heavyweight division's in a little bit of a weird landscape. I think everybody is fully aware that we've only had one world title fight this year, and there's nothing planned for the rest of the year. Fingers crossed we're going to get more next year, and we're going to get to see that big undisputed fight that a lot of people are thirsty. But if we do get to see the undisputed fight, that kind of then ties up all the real estate at the top end. These two gentlemen tomorrow, there is a trinket on it for whatever it's worth. It's called the Interim WBO Heavyweight Championship, of which we'll put the winner in pole position for the WBO version of the belt, which Alexander Usyk currently holds. There will be a mandatory situation, I've no doubt, called on that.
Yeah.
How long that will take, I do not know. But in answer to your question, I think for either of them, I mean, Zhang's 40 years of age. So if you lose this fight tomorrow evening, the chances of fighting for a full world title in the next 6 to 12 months are very, very difficult. And even if you look further than that, given that the age that these two gentlemen are, this is probably a last chance saloon fight for the pair of them.
Adam, yesterday, you probably heard Malik Scott, who's Deontay Wilder's coach and trainer, of course, as you know, was in here with Simon and myself. Hugely impressive individual. This was his take on Joyce.
To me, it's an uphill battle for him right now. And the reason that it is two reasons. Because, one, he has been glorified for having a good chin. And to me, fighters that get glorified for having a good chin, they start believing in the hype. And that becomes like, well, I have a good chin, so that means I can take it. Yeah, but that runs out. You may have a good chin for 5 fights, 10 fights. But the higher level you go up to, that chin, you could say, runs out because someone that hit you. You know, I love Joyce. I work with him a lot, one-on-one, tons of rounds of sparring. I want the best for him. But he's in an uphill battle because, to me, he never was really taught defense for the highest level. And he's in with someone that comes from a very good teaching. Sean George is Zhang's trainer. He comes up in the amateurs with me. This guy's a very good teacher. And Zhang is very dangerous, very dangerous. He's a southpaw. He's big. He's imposing. He believes now. So, you know, if I was a betting man right now, my heart would be with Joyce, but my money would be with Zhang.
Quite straight talking from Malik Scott, but he says, and you go down the same road, Adam, that Joyce wasn't taught the defensive skills as he should have been as he's progressed with his boxing career, and it's almost too late now.
Absolutely. Like I said, he's 37 years of age. He turned over as a professional late after a fantastic amateur career. And it's going to be very, very difficult for him to turn into a completely different boxer tomorrow night, given the career that he's currently had. He does. Listen, I think anybody looking at this knows full well what Joyce is going to do. He has dined out on that name, the Juggernaut, all his professional career. He has to move his head. He doesn't move his head. You can't defend with your face in the heavyweight.
Exactly.
You just can't do that.
No,
and at some point, a 19-stone fella who is just landing time after time after time after time on your head, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Now, his saving grace, I suppose, from the first fight is that he didn't get knocked out, right? That's his saving grace. But the damage that was inflicted on him over a period of 6 rounds was enough for the referee to say, listen, mate, this is the end of the fight. My take from the first fight is that Joyce came in far too light, and therefore Zhang was hittable, and he was hit. But the things that Joyce was hitting him with, it was like water off a duck's back. It wasn't hurting him at all. So I'm interested to find out in 2 hours' time from now when we head up to Wembley.
What he comes in at.
Absolutely.
You know, he come in at the same weight against Daniel Dubois, don't you? The weight he came in against Zhang was the same weight he came in against Daniel Dubois. It's only in recent times that the weight has gone up against
Joe Parker.
Against Joe Parker and Carlos Takam, right?
Yeah, but Daniel Dubois coming at him from an orthodox stance rather than that southpaw stance, and that long left, he just, for whatever reason, he just couldn't seem to see it coming over the top punishment, coming over the top of his jab, and he was just not moving his head at all.
Was Zhang at southpaw? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So how is it that he hasn't got the skill set to, at his age, at 37, to deal with it? And how do we expect him then to suddenly acquire that? But Zhang is 40 years of age. Should be winning this fight, no?
Well, he's got an incredible pedigree, Zhang. Both Zhang and Joyce are Olympic silver medalists. We're talking about guys that have got incredible pedigree. But from a Joyce point of view, as Malik Scott was just pointing out there, the defensive side of his game has kind of been built on this, I've got an amazing chin, and I can take anything that anybody throws my way. And it's worked so far. It's
at levels.
Yeah.
And he's kind of taken that attitude into a fight that, let's be straight, he was a 10-1 on favourite to win that fight. So he's obviously gone in there with that mindset. He's come in light for whatever reason, and he's got tagged all over.
But it's an interesting one though, isn't it, Adam? Because we all of us picked Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
But we all turned around and said, or a lot of us turned around and said, I think Zhang beat Hogovic.
Yeah, he did.
And so, with that in mind, giving Zhang virtually no credence in the Joyce fight was probably a misstep for most of us, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think the majority of it, well, my angle anyway, was coming at this from Zhang would have success in the fight, but he gasses. And he does slow down after 5 and 6. And we saw it in the Hrgovic fight. He won the first half of it.
And then slowed.
Joe Joyce's big strength is that he's got a wicked chin, he's got an unbelievable engine. And he goes late.
Can you give me a name? Who wins it?
Right now, without seeing him on the scales, it's repeat. For me,
it's repeat.
Zhang takes it, but hopefully he's going to come in 2 stone, short of 2 stone heavier,
like
and then he'll be able to do a bit.
Is it not going to be a complete turnaround?
I hope so, mate. I hope so. I would love Joe Joyce to be able to turn it completely around, but I'm going to have to see a lot more than we did in the first fight.